An Illinois gun store says they're ready to hand over those firearms to individuals who purchased them during a previous injunction if another injunction of the state's gun ban is enacted. Welcome back. Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. On the road, was able to stop by GAT Guns yesterday, where William Kirk from Washington Gun Law, the popular Second Amendment channel, spoke to a crowd and discussed a variety of things. I was also able to speak about the importance of independent journalism and covering a whole host of things from a taxpayer's perspective, and that's something you can find at thecentersquare.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell and get the newsletter there. But one of the things that we were able to talk about with Nicole from GAT Guns was just exactly how sales are doing.
So this year, I'm very happy to say we have seen an increase in sales, an uptick over last year. It was the last 2 months we've had an increase in sales. So obviously mostly handguns, but we are seeing a lot of compliant rifles come out now from different manufacturers. So people are really excited to be able to buy rifles again.
Nicole did say that there's a lot of frustration when it comes to the Protect Illinois Communities Act from people who visit her store.
Frustration, obviously, with the with PICA and it still being here. We're hopeful, because we are seeing movement in our case and getting it moving forward. We have people that are waiting to pick up. So if we have a few days of freedom, we're ready for that. We're always ready for crowd control, so we're definitely ready for that. And I'm really excited to see there's a lot of women purchasing firearms, and I always put a plug in for that because I'm really happy to see the uptick in that. And then elderly people, there's a lot of elderly people that are purchasing firearms. They want to feel safe. They don't want to have to move. So that's how they're going to feel safe.
But what if there is an injunction? What happens next? Nicole said that they're ready.
So we have a huge section of our vault that is filled with just those firearms of people that have purchased and they are waiting to pick up. For them, we only need a cleared check. We don't need a full 72-hour background check because they have already entered into the contract of the purchase of the sale of the gun. So we are ready for that when they're available. It is doubtful that it would be a full 72 hours and we would be able to put new firearms in people's hands, but those firearms that are waiting, we will likely be able to take care of those.
I was also able to chat with William Kirk. He is the host of Washington Gun Law. He gave an address to the people there about the importance of having a lawyer, especially if they are going to be carrying concealed or find themselves in any kind of Second Amendment situation. But I asked him why he came to a state like Illinois, all the way from the West Coast.
Well, because I think that if you want to take a look at the nefarious things that state governments are doing to the citizens of its state, and you want to understand where they are coming with, how are they going to disarm you, I think Illinois is like Exhibit B right behind the state of California. And my big beef with the state of Illinois, it's not so much what they do to their citizens, that's a problem, but it's how they do it. I mean, this PICA, the way this was passed under the color of darkness in the middle of the night, it's not even democratic in nature.
Again, he reiterated some of what he told the crowd there about the importance of having legal representation.
Yeah, so here's the deal. I recognize that Second Amendment is a right, but it is a right that comes with a tremendous amount of responsibility. And in order to truly be the lawful and responsible gun owner, you not only need to be well-trained and proficient in the use of your firearm, but you need to understand the laws of self-defense, the laws of the use of the firearm in your particular jurisdiction. Practice the stay out of prison like you practice the stay out of the morgue.
Now, he was there talking about this organization, Right to Bear, which provides that type of representation, but he said it's important that people understand that you have to have somebody that's going to represent you if there was some kind of incident where you had to use your legal firearm for self-defense.
Yeah, listen, first of all, whether you choose Right to Bear or anyone, I just want everyone to be covered. It's like you're jumping out of an airplane, you need a parachute. I don't care what that parachute is as long as it's packed appropriately. But what happens in the first 30 minutes to 3 hours following an incident and the ability to talk to a lawyer and preserve evidence and things like that can be the difference between having a valid self-defense claim and going to prison. And so having that lawyer on speed dial, whatever method you use to have that person, critical to your defense.
William Kirk from Washington Gun Law, he was there and he talked about what's coming next with the gun ban challenges.
Yeah, here it is. I'll sum it up in 4 words. It's going to be win, stay, appeal, lose. Because what's going to happen is I do believe the trial court is going to follow the law, and you're going to win. And you're going to get an injunction, and I hope the injunction lasts a few days so at least the folks in Illinois can enjoy some semblance of freedom. But the Seventh Circuit's going to step in and stay it. You know they will. There will be an appeal, and the Seventh Circuit will flip it. Why is that? Because that's what happens every single time.
But Illinois' case likely not going to make it to the U.S. Supreme Court before Maryland's case, something that Kirk unpacked for us and where that's going to head.
But while that's kicking around, what I think is going to happen is the United States Supreme Court is going to accept review on the Snope case. It's a Maryland assault weapon ban. It would certainly affect everyone here in Illinois. And what the Seventh Circuit should do in that situation is basically just sit on it, wait for the Supreme Court to rule, and then make its ruling. But it's the Seventh Circuit, so who knows?
Ultimately, whatever happens, it's going to be up to the U.S. Supreme Court.
When Illinois' cases went up, they were still kind of in an interlocutory fashion, or it's a fancy word of saying it was before the end of the football game, okay? What's good about the Maryland case is it is final. It is complete. There's nothing else left to do. It is ripe for review. And what's also good is it carries with it a magazine capacity ban as well. So a lot of those issues that they're struggling with here in Illinois, California, out in my home state of Washington, are going to be resolved by the Supreme Court.
I was also able to chat with Rhonda Ezell. If you're not familiar with her, she had litigation against gun control laws in Chicago and won, setting precedent. And her case has been cited time and again in other challenges to gun laws. We talked about gun rights and how she said it's really for everybody.
Stop allowing the government to put you in a box, to lie to you, to try to trick you into your grave into believing that one group of people is better than the other. What do I mean by that? Because they tend to tell you that gun rights are for Republicans. And this is the argument that they put forth all the time on social media, as if Democrats aren't gun owners or no one else is gun owners. So they use the Second Amendment as a political pawn. We know that, we see that. But us here at Chicago Guns Matter, we don't do that. We take a stand for all Americans, all shape, forms, and sizes, color, ethnic background, whatever. The goal is to stay in the fight. Pay attention, understand what's going on, and take it to these people because they don't want us to have our firearms. They don't want to see us with American freedoms. You know, it's unfortunate that we've seen the border been open and all these illegal has come across. They're committing crimes, committing violence, as if we didn't have enough already in this state. And yet, we're still fighting for our fundamental constitutional right.
I also asked Rhonda what kind of message she has to legislators who are constantly looking for more gun control legislation.
You know, what you have to do with these legislatures here in Illinois is take a stand and let them know that you see what they're doing. Everything that they're doing is corrupt. They do it all the time. This is nothing new. They wait until the dead of the night and they sign these unconstitutional bills into law. No one's seen them. No one got a chance to read them. No one voted on them. But of course, the Democrat machine, this is what they do. This is not the first time, and it sure won't be the last. But take a stand for something, because if you don't, you'll fall for anything. And we've taken a stand. We've made a stand. We've set a precedent. We continue to fight. They don't like us. Unfortunately, who cares? You know, our job is to make sure that we preserve freedoms in this country.
There's another event at Law Weapons. I will be heading to that in Naperville and talking with Robert Beavis, who is one of the plaintiffs in Beavis v. Naperville. That city's ban on semi-automatic firearms, and that's been up and down the judiciary. It'll be interesting to hear what he has to say about sales and about a possible injunction, so we'll bring you some of that here with Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and join us each and every weekday morning here with America's Talking Network.